friends, it's time for small group. So for small group today, we will build towers and measure and compare them to find out which is bigger, smaller, or equal to. So today for the small group, you're going to need anything you could build with. So you could use Legos, you can use cubes, you can use wooden blocks if you have them, anything that you can build a structure with that we can compare and measure when we're done. So I'm going to measure using a measuring tape, but you can measure using anything. You can even measure using cubes. So you can measure how tall something is by saying, if I measured this wooden block with the cubes, I can measure this and say, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 cubes tall. This block is 4 cubes tall. But I'm going to use my measuring tape. If you have one of these, you can use this. And this has numbers on it so that you can put it from one end of the block to the other end of the block to see how many inches it is. So this one is 3.5 inches tall. So let's think of some measurement words that we can use before we compare our structures. So some measurement words are maybe tall, taller, wide, wider, smaller, shorter, bigger, longer. So those are the type of measuring words that we can use during this activity. So what I want you to do is you can build something at your house, and I'm going to build something here, and then I want you to help me compare them and measure them. Okay, so really quick before we get started, I have some different things to build with. So these, I'm going to compare these two Legos. So looking at these two Legos, which Lego is the longer one of the two? Which one's longer? Is it this one or this one that's longer? If you said this one, you're right. It's longer, which means this one is shorter. So if we compare the two, one's longer, one's shorter. Very good. Now, I'm going to use these to build. I'm going to stack them up. Then I'm going to use my cubes. Okay, so let's look at these two towers. We put them next to each other. Which one is taller? Which one is taller? Let's see if we can look at it and use our eyes to measure. Which one looks taller? You said this one, you're right. This one is taller, which means this one is shorter. Now, how about if we say, which one is wider? Which one is wider? That means how much wider is the length of it from side to side. So which one is wider? This one or this one? If you said this one, you're right. This one's wider. See, if I put this one in front of it, this one still goes and this one stops. This one is wider. Now, if I measure it with my measuring tape, I'm going to put it at the top. Let me get closer so you can see. Go to the top of it to make sure it goes all the way to the top. And what number do you see there at the bottom? 7. This one is 7 inches tall. And we're going to do this one, same thing. We're going to start at the top. How many do you see there? What number is that? 5. This is 5 inches. And this is 7. So 7 is more than 5. And we were right. This one is taller. We could tell by looking at it. So you can also measure using your eyes, but if you want to be exact, you want to use a measuring tape or a ruler. Okay, so now let's do some other things here, other towers, and compare them. Okay, so these are wooden blocks, and these are both what shape? They are both rectangles, okay? But then they're not the same size, right? They're the same shape, but they're different sizes. So let's compare the sizes. If I put them next to each other, which one is taller? Which one's taller? This one or this one? You said this one, you're right. This one's taller. See, if I put them next to each other, this looks like it's only half of this one. Now, it's also longer. It's also longer than this one because this one's shorter. This one's shorter and this one's longer. Now, these are two rectangle shapes, and they are, if we say which one's shorter, which one's taller, they're both the same. That means they're equal to. If they're the same size, they're equal to. They're the same. Okay, so I want you to build some towers now, and I want you to compare which ones are taller, shorter, longer, which ones are wider, okay? And I want you to use your measurement tools to help you be exact about it. So if there's something that's close and you're not really sure, you can use this to see the numbers and find out which one is taller, wider, smaller, by looking at the numbers and comparing. Okay, friends, I hope you have so much fun with this, and we will see you soon.